Today, I want to talk to you about TIFCO's new line of made in the USA Q-Tite Copper Fittings, the fastest, easiest, cleanest, and safest way to make reliable, leak-proof connection in copper pipe. Let me show you how they work. You start with a clean and deburred pipe and simply insert it into the fitting. That's it. You're done. You now have a permanent, reliable, leak-proof connection. Let me tell you a little bit more about Q-Tite. Each fitting has a 50-year warranty, and they are lead-free, meaning they can be used in potable water systems. They are rated to 200 psi working pressure and 600 psi test pressure. The working temperature is 0 to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. The captive EPDM O-ring seal is what prevents the leakage, while the nylon guide ring helps align the pipe during installation. This 3/16 stainless grab ring resists corrosion while holding the pipe in place. Another added benefit of the Q-Tite system is that the fittings or the pipe can be rotated after installation, making it easier to align an entire system. In order to demonstrate the real value of this product, let me compare the Q-Tite installation process to what you are probably already used to with sweat fittings. First, here's Q-Tite. Now, I'm going to sweat this pipe. So let me make sure I have everything I need. I'm going to need some flux to help the solder flow. I'm going to need some solder. Make sure this is lead-free. This needs to be water-soluble. I need a torch. And of course, I'm going to need some fuel. Make sure that you have enough for the job. Now, I'm ready to sweat. Actually, I'm missing a few more things I'm going to need. I need a striker to light the torch, and with all this flaming heat, I'd feel more comfortable with a pair of gloves. While these are great gloves, they're not that heat resistant, so I like using a heat absorption compound like PyroShield. And I may end up working near a gas line, woodwork, or other delicate surface, so a welding blanket's a good idea. I prefer TIFCO's Velvet Shield. Now, I know this is a large size, but in many shops this is all they have. And since I'll probably end up in a tight space, I'll do what a lot of technicians do. I'll cut it, which means I need my utility knife. So I will cut this blanket to fit my application. Finally, I'll need TIFCO's screen cut or another hand abrasive roll to polish or clean the pipe before I solder it. I'm going to need some safety glasses and also a flux brush, because who wants to spread the flux with their finger or their glove? I know that every time I sweat pipe or watch someone solder, either the flux or the solder drips, so I want some rags or shop towels to wipe up the spills. TIFCO Brute Box. And finally, a fire extinguisher. While not technically necessary, it's still a good idea to have one nearby. I feel like I'm forgetting one last thing. Of course, the fitting itself. Now that I have everything I need, I'm ready to sweat. So let's get to it. The first step, well, actually, I never got a hot work permit, so I can't show you how it's done. However, you've all seen it done. I have to polish or clean the pipe and fitting, apply the flux paste to both the pipe and the fitting, insert the pipe into the fitting, heat the pipe until the flux melts, then apply the solder until it flows into the joint, allow everything to cool, and then clean up all the drips and spills. Here's a quick reminder. This is how Q-Tite works. Which would you rather use? I don't need all this. Besides speed and safety, Q-Tite has other advantages too. It works with CPVC and PEX pipe. For CPVC, just like the copper, insert the pipe into the fitting for a leak-proof permanent connection. This is the traditional way to solder or glue CPVC. You clean up everything, you primer it, you cement it, you twist it, and you let everything dry. Of course, while it's drying, be sure and get your shop towels out and clean up the big mess you made of purple primer all over the floor. Just like with copper, Q-Tite is faster, cleaner, and easier. Q-Tite also works with PEX pipe. But this time, there's one extra step. You need to insert this little support piece inside the pipe. That's it. After that, you just insert it into the fitting as normal for a permanent leak-proof connection. With PEX pipe, you need special fittings, ferrules, and a very specialized tool to make the fitting. That tool can be expensive and difficult to use in tight locations. Now, the million-dollar question, price. Q-Tite fittings do cost a bit more than sweat fittings, but probably not by as much as you think. However, it is significantly easier, faster, and safer than sweating pipe. Plus, since you aren't using solder, flux, and all those other accessories, there are additional savings there as well. The next time you find yourself reaching for a sweat fitting, and solder, and flux, and a torch, and everything else, contact your TIFCO inventory specialist and give Q-Tite a try. TIFCO has a complete line of 1/2 inch, 3/4, and 1 inch fittings available in couplings, tees, adapters, caps, and 90s. And there are 3 tray assortments available for your convenience. 84891, a 25-piece tray with 1/2 inch fittings, 84892, a 25-piece tray with 3/4 inch fittings, and 84893, a 25-piece tray with 1 inch fittings. Q-Tite, another great American-made product innovation from TIFCO. The right part in the right place at the right time.